and welcome back. And here we have episode 3 of Will It or Won't It Ever Run Properly? Ford 4000, 1965, 3-cylinder diesel. If you've seen the previous 2 episodes that we did, one was last April, would you believe, back in spring 24, and that's when we towed it around the field and we did get it running, but it wouldn't run for very long. It's been sat ever since then, pretty much waiting to be touched. We put the new injectors in, we put new injection pump on, or a reconditioned injection pump, cleaned out all the filters, cleaned out all the tank, did all of that. So we know the fuel system is all good, and still it won't run. And the last thing I said on the last episode was the only thing I've got left to do now is compression test, because there's something wrong with this engine. So that's where we are. So today I think this is going to be a pretty short video for 2 reasons. First reason, it's about 1 degree centigrade and I'm in an uninsulated barn with no door on it. The good thing being there's no wind, so at least there's no wind chill, so it is only 1 degree and that's what I'm feeling. But already I've only been out here half an hour and my fingers are numb. So it's going to be a short episode for that reason, but also all I'm going to do is check 3 cylinders for compression, dry and then wet, and then figure out from the readings what we're up against. Now, just to explain, diesel engines require high compression for them to run properly, and generally they need decent compression to even start. Now, an engine of this age does not have a cold start as such. It is relying heavily on compression to generate the heat to ignite the fuel. If there's very little compression, that heat won't happen, so the fuel won't ignite. When we got it started last year, we towed it for quite a long time around the field, and it did eventually go, but it didn't run for very long, which we thought was fuel. So we had the pump off, got the injection pump all reconditioned. We'd already done the injectors and already done the rest of the fuel lines and the filters and everything and the tank. Put the injection pump on in the last episode, as hopefully you saw. Still nothing. It will not start on the key. And I did notice that when I was turning over the engine by hand on the fan, even though the injectors were in and there was some compression, there was not very much at all, and I shouldn't really been able to turn it as easily. So I suspect we have issues in the diesel engine cylinders, and we're going to do a dry test and a wet test. And as I say, to explain, the compression is generated by the sealing of the piston to the cylinder and also the valves to the cylinder head, valve seats, and of course the head gasket as well. All of those 3 components, they make up the sealing arrangement for the cylinder in the engine. Now, to decide whether we have a problem with the pistons and the bores and the rings, or whether we have a problem, or the head gasket, or a problem with the valves in the head, we have to do 2 tests. One is a dry test where we don't put anything in it. It may have a bit of fuel in there, but we just run the thing dry, and we take the readings. And then when we've done that, we then put some oil down the bores into the injection holes, down into the cylinders. That oil will then, in theory, seal up the pistons to the cylinder bores, and if the readings don't change, we know that the cylinders are doing their job. They've sealed. If the readings do go up, however, we know then that the oil has sealed, taken up the wear in the pistons and the bores and the rings, and is now creating a new seal. So that tells us that the pistons and the cylinders and the bores themselves and the rings are probably likely problem where the compression is leaking past the cylinder into the crankcase, or possibly even in a crack or something like that. Now, so what we're going to do is I've got my compression tester set up, ready to go. It's just a bog standard injector compression tester, Sykes Pickavant, so it's a fairly good make, and we're going to test each cylinder dry, and then we'll see it wet and see what happens. Okay, first thing we need to do is we have what is effectively a blank injector. So this is a blank injector with a hole that goes right up the middle, and at the top of it there's a quick release fitting, much like a hydraulic quick release fitting, and on the end of that is a pipe which then goes round to a gauge with the scale for PSI and bar to measure the pressure that is in the engine. Now this is the right size for this engine, as in it fits in the injector hole. We need the copper washer that is normally with the injector. We need that in the bottom of the hole as well, because that makes a seal, just like it would with the injector. And basically it's just a case of making sure it fits in the hole and it's the right height, so we can tighten it down and seal it just as if it was an injector doing its normal job of injecting fuel into the engine. Using up the bracket that comes with the tester and the standard nuts that are used to screw the injectors down with. Now it's quite likely you could possibly damage the copper washer, because it might not be, the end of the injector tester, as in the dummy injector, might not be quite the right size, and where you squeeze it down it might damage the copper washer. But copper washers are easy to get, and it's just a case of making sure that as long as you've got a seal on here, we can always replace copper washers if we need to. Be careful as well, if you leave the copper washer in the bottom. I've got all 3 injectors out so that the engine turns over freely. If you leave any copper washers in the bottom, they're likely to come and spitting out the hole and probably hit you in the eye. I did have one incident, not for me. I was watching somebody else one time. I was in when I worked in the coaches, on the coaches in the coach garage. We used to work on Bristol engines, and when they were in a coach, the Bristol engine used to be on its side, so that the cylinder head was basically, the whole thing was horizontal effectively. And we were having problems with, I can't remember what exactly, but all the injectors were out. There were 6 cylinders. All the injectors were out, and my colleague mechanic was crouching down, looking straight down the injector holes, and he didn't take all the copper washers out because some of them had stuck in the bottom of the holes. And all of a sudden, before you knew it, one of them came flying out, went straight in his eye, and I had to take him to hospital. I'll never forget that. I used to use the boss's old car. He had a big old Volvo, V6 Volvo Estate, 240 or 265 or something, I can't remember exactly, but it was a lovely car. And I rushed old Mick into hospital with his eye blooming, oh, well, it was horrible. So be aware of that. Don't be looking down any injector holes when you're doing this, otherwise you might have something come out. The very least you're going to have coming out is fuel. So just make sure you do this safely. Now we're down nice and tight. Everything's where it should be. So let's see what we get. It is just a case of cranking it over until the needle stops moving. Oh dear. Oh dear. That is barely enough compression. That's 100 psi. That is barely enough compression for a petrol engine, let alone a diesel. Okay, let's see what the others are going to do. That's about the same. So we've barely got 80, 90 psi. Cylinders 1 and 2. This is not good. Well, that's closer to 200, but that is nowhere near enough. A quick Google has shown that the recommended minimum PSI for this engine is 410. So we are 50% down, over 50% down on what it should be. And I think the maximum is something up to 500. We are absolutely nowhere near where we need to be. But the question is why? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put oil down each bore and test each one again and see what changes. Clearly this cylinder head is going to have to come off at least, and possibly even engine rebuild. But let's see what the oil does. Okay, now this will tell us the state of the pistons. So the pressure has gone up a little tiny bit from 80 to 100. It's hardly changed, which means that the oil has made no difference, and the oil in the bores would now seal up. If there was any leak past the pistons and the cylinders, that oil would seal up that leak, and it hasn't done so, which suggests valves or cylinder head gasket. So number 2 has gone up slightly as well, so the oil is doing something, but it's definitely not making any difference, which means that the piston is not being sealed any more than it was before. So it's starting to look like cylinder head. Let's do number 3. There we go. Nothing's changed. That means we've got to have a reconditioned cylinder head, possibly head gasket, possibly cracked, possibly another cylinder head. Whatever happens, we've got to take this engine apart. But now we know that is why it won't start. So that's all 3 cylinders checked, dry and wet, and the readings haven't changed. We're around about 100 for number 1 and number 2, and we're around about 160 to 180 for number 3. So all 3 cylinders are way down on compression, nowhere near. I mean, you'd be looking 160 for a petrol engine tops, 170 maybe. For a diesel, absolutely nowhere. You want at least 350 for a diesel. This is going nowhere at the moment. So yeah, nothing's changed. We're putting the oil in, so sealing the bores and the pistons hasn't made any difference, which tells us that the cylinder head has got a problem. Could be valve gear, it could be head gasket, it could be cracked, it could be any number of things. But whatever happens, this cylinder head has got to come off so that we can check it out and see what's going on. So now we know. So there we have it, cylinder head off. Next episode this will be for this tractor, but when that will be, anyone's guess, because as you probably know if you watch my channel, I've got plenty to do, and I sort of think unless I get 5 minutes spare one day, well actually if I get half a day spare one day, then I'll probably rip the cylinder head off and have a look inside. I'm keen to know what's going on with this, I really am, but I've got plenty happening. So I don't know when that's going to be, guys. But if you have one of these tractors and you can't get it started, my advice is do a compression test, and that will tell you lots of things that you need to know, and where to go next, which is exactly where we are now. So if you like what you see and you want to keep up with our mechanical adventures, please check out our channel, where we do all sorts of things, cars, tractors, you name it. If it's got wheels, we'll do it. And the next episode for this, as I say, will be cylinder head off, to check out what's going on inside, but I suspect it's going to be a rebuild of the cylinder head, and then we'll see where we go from there. Please put a like on the video if you like it, share with your friends, comment if you feel you need to. Every little helps, and most of all, if you haven't subscribed, please put a subscription down and get us out there, get our algorithm going so that we get to see as many people to see us as possible. It'd be great to hear from you, great to see you back again. Take care, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.